Okay, today our goal is to graph polynomial functions in factored form without using a calculator or Desmos. Okay, and that might sound intimidating, but hopefully we've learned a few things this week about what we can notice when we're looking at the equation. When we are graphing, we really only care about the x-intercepts. The y-intercept, we don't care a whole lot about, and I don't even care about how high or low your dips and valleys go. Let's just look at this for a second. For now, this 2 doesn't really mean anything to me, but these three factors tell me a lot, okay? Remember, if I turn this into a 0 and I set it equal and I try and figure out what my zeros are or what my x-intercepts are, I would set each of those equal to 0. So like x minus 2 equals 0. Oh, x equals 2. Here's 2. This one, x plus 2 equals 0. Oh, x equals negative 2. So over here I'm going to put a negative 2. This one gives me a positive 3 if I solve it. And so that's going to give me some clues on how I'm supposed to graph this. Okay? I do notice that this is a positive polynomial. The 2 is positive. That means on the right side, the end behavior, it's going to end by going up. Okay? And again, we found these things as zeros or x-intercepts. I have no exponents up here, no squared, no cubed or anything, so I don't need to worry about special things happening. We'll talk about that in the next two examples. So what's going to happen is this graph is going to go through at these points. Okay? And we said it's positive, so it's going to end by going upwards. So I'm going to dip down and back up and down. Okay? So all I have to do is create a graph that goes through. It's like you're zigzagging or sewing with a sewing needle through those 3 points. And again, I know that I'm ending upwards because that's a positive value here. Okay? So here's the sketch. Again, I don't care how high you go here. I don't care how low you go here. I care about seeing the x-intercepts, and I care about the correct end behavior. Okay? This one, okay, when I look at these two factors, I know this is going to give me an x equals 2, and this is going to give me an x equals negative 5. So when I am graphing, and I'm just sketching a graph, I don't care about using my graphing calculator. I don't want a lot of details. I want the detail of 2, and I want the detail of negative 5. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not even sketching out like tick marks. Now in this case, this part is squared. Okay, so at x equals negative 5, something special is going to happen. There's actually going to be a bounce here. And we're going to talk about what a bounce looks like in a second. And again, this is a positive, which means on the far right side, my end behavior, I'm going to end by going up. So remember, this is like a needle going through. Okay, it's going to go through here and go up. Now, when I come around here to the negative 5, that squared tells me it's going to bounce. So it's going to bounce off the x-axis and turn back around. So when I look at this graph, it bounces on the negative 5 and it goes through negative 2. Because it's positive, it ends by going in an upward direction. Okay? This is an example of one that's actually not in the book, but I just wanted to make sure we're talking about something like this as well. Okay? Two different things here. One, this x is by itself. That's going to tell me x equals 0. This one is going to tell me x equals negative 7. That one's going to tell me x equals 3 when y is 0. So when I make my x and y axes, I care about 0, I care about negative 7, and I care about positive 3. Those are the only 3 points I'm going to weave in and out. Now this one's negative, so I'm going to end by going down. Okay, and then this has a cubed at x equals 3. So what a cube does, if you think about just your regular y equals x cubed graph, it doesn't just go straight through the x-axis, it does a little lounge or a jog. So I'm going to make a jog or a lounge here. Okay, and again, I don't care how high I go up, but I'm going to have to turn around and come back to 0. So at some point I turn around and come back to 0. and then I come back through to the -7, okay? And so again, I'm just zigzagging my way through. The negative means I'm ending downward. The cubed means I'm doing a lounge. I'm not just going through, and I'm not doing a bounce. Okay? Now it's your turn to practice some.